This year, springtime looks a little bit different for us than it has the past, well, many years. As many of you know, we are in a temporary Victorian home right in town. We are putting all of our efforts and focus and brain space into our new build. So this year, we're not getting new baby chicks. We're not putting in a huge garden. I'm not running out to see if my roses bloomed or my peonies bloomed, but still I'm able to embrace this certain flow of the season that spring tends to offer. So freshening up the house, doing some cleaning, adding flowers. One fun little advantage of living in town is being able to go to the local florist shop and a local home decor shop to piece together some spring decor and spring arrangements. A couple of the kids and I went on a little walk to collect some things from around town to bring that freshness to our home. Just because we don't live on our homestead yet and we are putting our focus into building the house, the infrastructure there, Luke and I do still plan to put a little raised bed in the backyard of this house because we're going to be here the entire summer. And it's amazing how much I enjoy getting fresh things from the outside, even if it's just a bed with some herbs and flowers. That would be good enough for me. Thankfully, we did inherit quite a few beautiful blooming things here at this house that I can collect even now to bring some spring life into our home. It's an interesting thing living in a temporary home, trying to decide what things are worth devoting attention to, time to, money to, for something that will be very short term. Like, for example, normally I would have thought about in this kitchen putting up curtains on some of the empty rods here. When we got here, my biggest goal was just to get rid of anything that was ugly, that was easy to get rid of. So obviously, like, I wouldn't choose these countertops necessarily, but that's not an easy fix. Yes, you can cover things with like contact paper or recoat them, but that would be something that I would only do if we were going to stay here. So we took down all of the curtains because they were very heavy. They didn't let in a lot of light, but there's a lot of places that I didn't replace them with. Now, there were a few places where we did for privacy's sake, but there are just a lot of things that I would be giving a lot more attention to if we were staying here long term and trying to find the balance between making this home beautiful and functional enough, but not wasting time or money or effort. Isn't this sweet little motherhood calendar from my friend Sarah Jo from Briarton Farm just so pretty? I love the beautiful April page. An exciting update for this little space. So this room, the library, was supposed to just be a homeschool room. We ended up using it as a dining room for a while because we ordered a table. It's a whole saga on Etsy back in, I believe, November, and it was supposed to arrive before Christmas. The seller kept telling us, oh, it's going to come just, it's a week late. It's a week late now. And then I would keep contacting them and, oh, it's just going to be another week. And finally, sometime, I think around February, I came to the conclusion after the seller stopped answering my messages that the table was never coming. So I ended up switching gears and getting a refund on that because I wanted that table so bad and I was not quickly going to give up on the seller at all. But it became clear that it was never coming, and I reached out to Farmhouse Furniture out of Kentucky. They build the most beautiful tables and chairs, and finally our table came here in the last week. So that library room will now function as it's supposed to, a homeschool room where we can gather around with our books. We can leave things sprawled out when necessary. Now, of course, we'll want to clean them up at the end of the day for the most part so that it's not too cluttered and chaotic. But just knowing that it doesn't have to be cleared every time we have a meal and we have a large enough table that our whole family can fit around it is just such a wonderful change this spring. And the table will fit perfectly into our new home. So it makes this temporary home much more comfortable because we have a dining room space in a room that we really weren't using very much at all. Much better use of the space. And of course, we'll get use out of this table for likely forever. I imagine my grandkids will sit at this beautiful table. Before I give you a tour of our kitchen space, as part of this spring home tour, I want to tell you about a recipe that we've been really loving, a berry tart. It has that freshness that you hope for in a spring recipe with all of the fresh fruit on it. I didn't have a tart pan, so I just used a pie pan, and surprisingly, it came out of the pie plate perfectly so I could cut it up and serve it to my family. Now, I made this one with all-purpose flour just because I hadn't ever made a tart before. But then my daughter has since made it with whole grain flour, and it turned out awesome as well. Now that it is springtime and we are enjoying so many beautiful events outside, I like to make sure that I have my pantry stocked with easy to go things that I can pack with us. I also restock my baking supplies to make delicious spring treats. And a way that I do that is with Thrive Market, who is today's video sponsor. Thrive Market is a membership-based online grocery store that specializes in natural and organic ingredients. I like to pick up household items on there. So this time I got one of my favorite sunscreens that I like to use throughout the summer months, some bug spray, some mosquito and tick repellent as we're spending more time outside. And then I grab organic chips for those on-the-go meals, plus a lot of pantry staples, things like tomato paste and sourdough pasta. I end up getting the same things over and over again to make my buying experience just convenient and easy. Plus orders over $49 shipped for free right to my door, saving an extra step of going to the grocery store, and just for such great prices. I can find things on Thrive Market that I can't find locally. Things like my sourdough pasta and the brands of canned goods that I like, einkorn flour and certain spices, supplements. I get those all from Thrive Market. I love that on the Thrive Market website, you can search by dietary preference. So if you are paleo, gluten-free, dairy-free, you can make it to where you only see those options so that you're not wading through tons of things that you aren't even interested in purchasing at all. Thrive Market is offering Farmhouse on Boom viewers 30% off your first order plus a free gift worth up to $60 by using my link, thrivemarket.com/Farmhouse on Boom. I'll also leave it linked down in the description box below if you've ever been on the fence about trying Thrive Market to see if they have some things that maybe you're already buying locally for a cheaper price on Thrive Market, or things that you might have to travel to the city to pick up that you can conveniently and easily get on Thrive Market. I think you're going to be very impressed with the selection. With 30% off and that free gift, it's a perfect time to try. Adding something handmade to a space as the seasons change is a great inexpensive way, especially with thrifted fabric like we have a huge collection of, to just switch things up and make it fresh and new. Now, I now have a daughter who is old enough, a couple daughters now, who can sew, who are old enough to make me stuff like this, so I usually will just commission them with something like that. My friend Elizabeth over at Purely Parsons sent me some of her amazing products, so I have this fresh floral scented perfume that's all handmade, all natural, perfect for springtime. Now, this bathroom is a shared bathroom between my husband and I and all the boys in our family, so it sees a lot of wear and tear and has to be freshened up more often than just springtime, obviously. Next, we have the family room here in our home. When we first looked at this house, we weren't exactly sure where we would put like the couch and the TV and just the family room area, because there actually are at least 3 spaces that you could feasibly use as the family room. Really 4 if you count the library. And when you walk into a home that isn't really staged It's kind of just up to you, and certain things make more sense than others. Like, of course, the room closest to the kitchen we would use as the dining room, but then the other two spaces that I mentioned, possibly four if you count the library, they all connect to each other, and none of them are a bedroom because they don't have a door or any separation. So we ended up picking this space and then the adjoining space that could possibly be considered a family room. The girls use that for their sewing and craft area because we had that at the last house and we really needed it at this house as well because they have a dress form, they have a sewing machine, they have a serger, they have tons of fabric and notions and all the things that they needed for sewing. I currently have my daughter here sewing a couple of pillow covers for the chairs that we keep in this little faux fireplace room that we use as the sewing room. Now, because our last property had a regular living room and a cottage, we had additional furniture to put in this space because we had furnished the cottage. So we call this space the cottage if we're trying to refer someone in the family to where to find something and it's in the girls' sewing room, we'll just say over in the cottage because we basically took the chairs that were in that space and the sewing stuff that was in that space because that's where they did a lot of their sewing and put it into this room. So we have it kind of set up as a family room because there are chairs in there, but it's also where they keep their sewing stuff. It's just their little hangout room that mostly only the girls in the family go to. So we only have 2 daughters and we have 6 sons. The daughters are the oldest 2 kids in the family. So they're both teenagers and it's really nice for them to have a little space to themselves, even though it's not very separated and kids can definitely come in it. But this cozy little room is perfect for that. My friend Cian from Farmhouse Teas sent some wonderful spring flavors. So today I'm going to enjoy a cold drink this afternoon with honey and this beautiful herbal tea. A few weeks ago, it was a rainy, cold day. We felt like we just needed to get out of the house for the day. We found antique shops far from here that we've never been to that we were out exploring. And I found this cute little pair of lamps for $6.50 each, which I thought would be a cute addition to our dining room now that we have a little bit more to decorate in here with our new table. I got some new lamp shades for them. This space is definitely feeling a lot more functional. I hope that you enjoyed seeing some peeks into our home for springtime. I can't wait to share with you all the build progress we're making, all coming very soon.